Hello, girls. So for those of you who know me, and those of you who don't know me, I absolutely love South Park. I am obsessed with South Park. I have a ton of South Park memorabilia. I also have every South Park DVD, but they're all on a shelf, and I really don't feel like getting that out right now. I've played every game, and that's why I have to talk about the new one, South Park Snow Day.
Rated M for mature.
Come on, new kid! Put your shit on! Come on, Button! Let's go, Stan!
So our last hope lies with you, new kid.
Snow day, everyone!
It's unreasonably bad, and I love Matt Stone and Trey Parker. I love them to death because I grew up on South Park. I've been watching South Park since I was like 9 years old, even when I wasn't allowed to watch South Park. I fall asleep every night to South Park. I have just too many South Park related items. My wallet is South Park. My whole entire life basically revolves around South Park, and I absolutely loved Stick of Truth and Fractured But Whole.
I'll do it. Jews can't be saviors, remember?
You can guess how happy I was when I found out that they were coming out with a third South Park game. And I was a little confused when they said it was going to be 3D opposed to their 2D style, because that's never how South Park has been. For anybody who knows South Park, they've always been these 2D little figures with questionable animation, which I love the animation of South Park. It's one of my favorite animation styles, even though it's so minimalistic. It has this whimsy that I just can't. It's so good.
Whoa, it's a Christmas party! Hey, you boys wanna bet me I won't take off my clothes?
Honey, please, you're drunk, okay?
But it's a Christmas party!
Honey, can we go inside for a second?
As a goth, I think you know who's my favorite character. You know, Scott Malkinson.
You know what? At least Scott Malkinson has some self-respect. At least Scott Malkinson doesn't cave into peer pressure and start doing musicals.
Scott Malkinson has a lisp and diabetes. Nobody's gonna let him do a musical.
That's enough, you guys. It's not cool. Lots of kids have diabetes, and you shouldn't be.
You shouldn't live on kids with diabetes. That's not cool. I'm Scott Malkinson.
No, I love my girl Henrietta. I adore Henrietta. I love Henrietta.
Shallow life. Drowning alone, I gasp for air. You'd like to see the maggots eat my face.
I was really looking forward to playing Snow Day. I had saved up my money. I paid for both the base game and the cosmetics packs and the season pass. So I forgot how much I spent. I think it was like $50 overall. I had cleared out an entire weekend to play it. I was like, okay, well, I can't play it until after my trigonometry test, and I have to do well on this trigonometry test. And then I failed my trigonometry test, but I played it anyways that weekend because I didn't have anything else to study for. So I was like, you know what? I already failed that one. Nothing I can do about it now. I have tutoring on Thursday. She was really nice. The game was really bad. I was looking forward to it. I was like, I grabbed my Switch and I was like, I'm so excited to play this. I'm gonna have so much fun with this. This is gonna be amazing. This is gonna be great. So we're opening with a scene like it comes straight out of the show. It's like, oh, well, there's a giant snowstorm and everything's shut down and it's catastrophic. And Cartman goes outside and it's just one of the ugliest things I have ever seen in my entire life.
My spies! Oh, I learned something today.
You're a little bitch.
Like, did any work go into this? My first thought was this animated in the early 2000s? Toy Story did better than this. Not that I could do better. I'm not a game dev, okay? I'm not an artist. I'm just me. But come on. Look at this. What? Now, I've heard some people say that they didn't put the same amount of effort into this because it was like a part of their deal with Paramount or something. I don't know if that's true. I couldn't really find anything about it. But it's really clear that the amount of effort that went into this was just, it wasn't on par with what they had done before. And also, even with the like interviews and the press that it got, they just seemed completely disinterested or just weren't there at all.
Maybe you should get a friend who can.
It's so much more fun to have Cartman look at you and get mad at you and not mad at Stan. And you're playing Stan. Or you're Kyle and you're getting the Kyle treatment. It's just way funnier than looking at you.
It didn't get the amount of hype that the other two got. And what makes South Park games great is the fact that you're able to kind of live through an episode. You're able to play it, and the story is just always out of the park. And one thing I will say about Snow Day is that the story is there. For those of you who actually want to play it, I'm not going to spoil it, but any good storyline that this game had, anything redeemable about it, was ruined by the shitty gameplay. I'm not even talking about, you know, like, I can deal with, like, subpar gameplay. I've played, you know, I'm not going to call them out because that's mean, but I've played some smaller indie games, which the gameplay wasn't great, but I could, you know, conserve the bees, you know, so it was like, yay, I was happy. No. This is bad. Like, I would say that the gameplay is on par with a free-to-play game that you play online. You would have like 7 pop-ups that would just crash your entire laptop for 20 minutes, but you know, at least that was worth it because you were bored and you had nothing else to do as a child. You didn't have any friends. But this just, the gameplay was just completely miserable. There was one level where I had knocked out all of my enemies, right? And I was ready to pick the lock, go to the next level, but there was one left. And I was like, why is there one enemy left? And I tried to hit him, try to kill him. No one could do anything. He was just there. The game is glitchy. You can barely do anything in the game because of how glitchy it is. And I get it. It is the first release of this game. It's a new game. It's not going to be completely, you know, bug-free yet. But I do expect it to be a bit polished, especially for the base price of like $30. That's, you know, it's not a ton. It's not as much as other games, but it's still like a hefty sum of money. Girl, Stardew Valley is $20. And Stardew Valley is loaded. I was struggling because I was like, okay, well, I have a free weekend. I'm gonna have to work my ass off to study for all my other classes. That's why I really haven't been posting a lot. It's because I've been trying to keep up with my classes because I am a freshman in college. I'm trying to balance my own, you know, happiness and enjoyment with the absolute hellscape that is pre-med. Why do biology majors have to do so much math? I am so bad at math. I'm gonna be a doctor. I need to be good at math. It wasn't a good game. And the only reason that I'm going on a rant about it on the internet is because I've already exhausted my boyfriend and my roommate just going on and on about this game and just the wildly boring gameplay, because I have never been more bored playing a game in my entire life. Like, this was absolutely crazy. Like, I was sitting through tutorial after tutorial after tutorial, and I still had to look up the controls. Everything is just so slow in terms of both storyline and movement. The levels are just, they have a weird pacing issue to where some of them go by way too fast, some of them go by way too slow. I couldn't even get through the end because I didn't want to play it anymore. I was like, okay, well, Stardew Valley 1.6 just came out. I'd rather play 1.6 and have Sebastian insult me because I gave him a piece of fruit than play South Park Snow Day. Like, I love South Park. I live and breathe South Park, but this one just missed the mark completely, and it's really disappointing. I don't want this to be the last South Park game. I don't want this to be the final entry, and it's just meh at best. And Matt and Trey are getting older, and they have children, and they have lives. But they need to make another 2D game that is actually decent, or I am going to eat them. I'm going to eat them with a fork. Thank you. If you let me voice a new goth kid, I will forgive you. I will probably also forgive you if you don't, because I love you. Anyways, thank you for sitting through this unnecessarily long rant about South Park Snow Day. I know it wasn't really structured. I needed to know if other people hate the game as much as I do. And I know nothing about games, but I know that this one sucks. I hate bad-mouthing South Park because I absolutely love South Park. There's nothing better than coming home from a day of hellish labs and just people who don't understand ideal gas law and having to explain it to them. And you get home and your bones are aching and you have the arthritis of a 92-year-old at 18, and you sit down and you watch a good episode of South Park. There is there's nothing that compares to it. Nothing. The only thing that does is sitting down and playing Fractured But Whole or Stick of Truth. My boyfriend is playing Stick of Truth for the first time, and all I hear is just him saying, Sam, babe, I killed a fetus. Just across the living room. We have neighbors. They can hear us. But that's what's so funny about it, is that they really go out of their way to make it interesting and shocking and funny. And that just really fell flat in Snow Day. Nothing that made South Park was there. It just kind of felt like a free-to-play cool math game, to be honest. That's kind of insulting to cool math games. I wasn't a huge cool math games kid. I paid attention for the most part. I was really into reading eggs. I loved reading eggs. Anybody else play reading eggs? That was my shit when I was a kid. I got perfection on reading eggs, man. I 100% reading eggs. You can tell I have no friends. Speaking of no friends, this is my last gripe with Snow Day. Why would you make it multiplayer? I'm telling you, the people who like South Park, we have no friends. No friends. Oh my god. Oh my god, my GERD is hitting. No, like, no one wants to play a multiplayer game with, you know, different bots mimicking. And the bots are so bad. The bots are so bad. That's what I'm saying, is that literally, in the final level, right? I get up to Health Pass Hospital. I get up on like the 3rd floor, and I see my other teammates dead. And I'm like, how did you all die? I'm on the 3rd floor. There aren't any enemies up here. I'm doing great. And they're just dead because they couldn't get to the 3rd floor. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I'm antisocial. I don't like working in groups. I do things on my own. And you're telling me that I'm going to play a game where I have to play in a group? At least let me play on my own. And I get that Henrietta, my girl, is trying to let me be antisocial. And she's like, hey girl, we know you're so cool and amazing and strong and iconic. So you should play this level on your own. And, you know, it's going to be a lot more challenging. And then I died. And then I died again. I was like, Henrietta, babe. Henrietta, you gotta make me able to kill these people. Maybe I just suck at the game. Maybe this entire rant is for nothing and you guys are gonna be like, Sam, you're so dumb. You just can't play the game and you're just really bad at the game and you're a noob and we hate you. And if that's the case, then that's totally reasonable. I'm very bad at games to where I have to fight people. That's true. But I am killer at Stardew Valley. Let me tell ya. There's 2 things that I'm good at. Okay, 3 things that I'm good at. The endocrine system, Stardew Valley, and taking care of hydrangeas. I don't know what it is about hydrangeas. They just... Hydrangea whisperer. Okay. Thank you for watching. Sorry I haven't posted in a while. I've been really wrapped up in school. Once it comes to summer, I'm probably going to start posting incessantly, and you're gonna hate me. So, look forward to that. Tell me what you want to see in the comments, because I have run out of ideas. I think you can tell. Wish me luck in Trey. I'm gonna cry myself to sleep. Have a great rest of your day. I will.